Good morning, Xbox Nation. Welcome to the latest episode of the Xbox Factor podcast. I'm one of your hosts, MrBooMStickXL. And of course, with me today, as usual, and I wouldn't have it any other way, I have my partner, friend, and brother, the Welsh Gamer. Listen, Welsh, welcome to the show. We took a week off for Thanksgiving, and I felt like we haven't done this show in a month, but I'm ready to jump back on this train and get it rolling. How's things?
No, it's all good, man. I've really missed it. It was weird. I've been getting in quite the routine of doing this show on a weekly basis. So to have to skip a week, it wasn't very nice, Boom. I'll admit. I was very, very gutted, but I'm glad to be back and can't wait to hit the topics.
Yeah, well, we have some good ones. But before we get into the topic one, as people may or may not know, Double Barrel Gaming has an official sponsor, and that, of course, is Xbox Gamer Picks. Now, this holiday is fast approaching, and most people, like myself, get anxiety because money is tight and gamers are tough to buy for. I know this firsthand because Mrs. Boomstick is always telling me, and I quote, "It's hard to shop for someone who buys everything," and she's 100% right. With that said, I have a very easy solution for you. If you want the gift that keeps giving and you want to give something special to your favorite gamer, something unique, something different, look no further than xboxgamerpicks.com. If you're unfamiliar, J Dubs, aka the Graphic God, is the owner of this incredible website and one of the nicest people on social media. He is responsible for every piece of artwork for this channel and just recently did the Welsh Gamers new Twitter pick. So check out xboxgamerpicks.com, follow the Graphic God on Twitter, sub his YouTube channel, and DM him if you have an idea for an originally designed piece of artwork. You won't be sorry. Welsh, let's talk about your new pick for a second. It's amazing. It really does scream the Welsh Gamer. Let's talk about it.
Mate, I could not be happier, and I swear to God, the Graphic God, man. He is well. There's a reason why he's got God in the name.
There
He
you
fucking
go.
knows what he's doing, man. And I'm really happy with it. Like I literally just we conversed. I asked him about his availability. Just letting you guys know, anyone listening, this is just how easy he makes it for you.
Yes.
I got in contact with him like 2 or 3 days ago, and he's already done the picture for me in about 2 or 3 days. He's efficient. He's quick. He's quick to reply. And his prices are very reasonable, ranging from $35 all the way to the $100 mark, depending on the level of detail you want in your pick. So he's phenomenal. His prices are very reasonable for the entry model and stuff. Like it looks phenomenal. I'm so happy with that. I literally just contacted him and was like, I want to like get put some more life into my channel, get a nice like picture on the go. I want something that screams that I'm Welsh. I want something screaming that I'm a gamer, but I also want my Vikings in there somewhere. And he was like, "I got you covered, Welsh." So that's what you've got. What the picture that's coming up now every time my loud mouth starts talking. So I'm buzzing with it. Boom, couldn't be happier, and I fully recommend him to anyone.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I met Jay and I tell this story all the time because I want people to understand what kind of a human being he is. Coming from a police background like mine, I didn't have a lot of technical prowess, if you will. And when it came to using the computer, I was a bit of a Neanderthal. Now I've gotten a lot better. My picks I do myself now. I'm learning graphics. I'm learning, the inside and outs of running the show. But I didn't know anything when I jumped headfirst into this pool, not realizing that it was only 2 feet deep. And thankfully, J Dubs rescued me before I hurt myself, and he showed me the ropes. But more importantly, he explained to me about graphics, about banners, about advertising, about making your channel look unique, and he helped me with that. And if you're a gamer who wants to start a YouTube channel, if you're an Xbox, PlayStation owner who wants a special gamer pick, seriously consider giving J Dubs a shot. His work is literally phenomenal, second to nobody on YouTube. So I say go check him out. But let's get into the first topic, and this is a good one, and it's going to be long. So sit down, grab your cup of coffee and your bagel, and get ready for some real good Xbox information. Sunset Overdrive director Drew Murray joins Microsoft's The Initiative And it's another major hire. In my opinion, the industry has been turned on its head in 2018 with Microsoft attracting not little, but major talent, leaving big name companies like Naughty Dog, Rockstar Games, Sony Santa Monica, Crystal Dynamics, and Rocksteady Games, just to name a few. Now, if this latest hire proves one thing, Phil Spencer and the team at Redmond are taking the next generation very seriously. If you've been following who they've hired, there are a lot of titles that say senior director, senior managing producer, lead producer, senior director of planning, and the list is endless. Today, Murray announced on Twitter that he's starting a new job at The Initiative. The Initiative is Microsoft Studios. That's a company that hopes to craft God of War level exclusives for the Xbox One, and I'm super stoked for that. Here's his official message from his Twitter account. I'm moments away from starting my new job at Microsoft's The Initiative. Very simple. Now, here's what I want to, this is what the question I'm going to pose to you. This is like a double-edged sword in a good way, Drew. There have been way too many leaders hired to think that they'll be working on one project. There's just no way. Too many chefs always ruin the soup. So my personal, and this is my personal opinion on this, folks. Okay, this is a boomstick opinion. The Initiative could easily be working on 3 or 4 different games at the same time because, like I said earlier, there are just too many people in lead positions to come to one company. Now, Drew, I want to get your opinion on this. First of all, is this a big hire for Microsoft's The Initiative? And am I correct in saying that just don't expect one big title? We might get 3 or 4.
Well, at risk of being called a broken record or repeating yourself, or, well, come on, stop singing that same song, but I don't care. Get Boom, I don't care. I have to say it one more time. What the hell is The Initiative working on? Honestly, man, I'll keep saying it until I get a freaking answer. But what on earth is The Initiative working on? Because you said it best, Boom. Like, all these names, they're not just like this guy here, this guy there, the guy who, like mops the floors when you finish and bloody rubs your back when you're hurting in your bloody gaming chair or whatever. These are like directors, leaders of groups, coordinators, from, like you said, Naughty Dog, Rockstar, Sony Santa Monica, Crystal Dynamics, Rocksteady Games. These are no pushovers, and they all, I keep saying it, I don't care. Broken record, but I don't care. But they have all left positions of strength and security, really. I mean, they probably all had jobs for life with these big companies. They didn't have to do anything, and they've left to come to The Initiative. I tell you what, Boom, it's nothing short of exciting, but if you're proposing to me or asking my opinion, do I think The Initiative could be working on several projects? If you'd have asked me this like a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, I probably would have said no. But I think given the evidence and the amount of big names that have been pulled and headhunted from all these different companies, I'm going to have to agree with you, Boom. Either they're making a game that is so freaking large that they're going to have to start selling Xboxes with 20 terabyte consoles just for this one freaking game, or they're selling, or they are in fact working on a few different projects. And I'm wondering, could that be what the 4th A is? Because it is a quadruple A. Maybe this is the first of many companies which is gonna fund, develop, publish, and produce anywhere between 3 and 5 games at one go under multiple project leaders. I'm wondering if that's why it's a quadruple A, because this company in particular is going to be producing a lot of high-level, talented games at one go, whereas a lot of other developers, we all know it's true, Boom, they can't hack it. And you know that if some developers try to push out 120 games in a close amount of time, it can affect one or the other game. But in this case, this could be what they're going for. Like, The Initiative is like going to be its own umbrella where it produces like maybe four or five games at one go. I'm inclined to agree with you in a nutshell. Too many big names. And like I said, it can only be, in my opinion, it can only be one of two things. A game that's so big that it can only be, you'll have to delete all your other games to play it, or or literally or multiple games under one roof. And I think the more likely scenario is more than one game under one roof.
Well, you know what? This, like I said, this particular topic is a double edge, and this is where it's going to get juicy good, right? Okay. Now, before I start in on it, because I'm going to go for a minute or two, because I'm excited so much so I got goosebumps before I'm even talking about it. We have 80 people watching live, which is ridiculous. I mean, I'm still new for this, so if I get one person watching, I'm hyped. But I have been told this, and I've said it before, and you do not want to be on the other end of the headphones when Mooch is yelling at you. And he likes to yell. I think we all know that. So he always tells me, Boom, tell the people to hit the like button. So I'm asking to if you're here today, you're listening to the show live and you like what you're hearing, hit that like button. I greatly appreciate it. But I also say this with the same tongue. If you're not happy with what I'm doing and what the Welsh Gamer is doing, you feel unsatisfied with the topics, hit me up in a DM and say, Boom, I would like more of this, and hit the thumbs down button. The same way I try to do in these shows, I want people to walk away satisfied, excited, and looking forward to the next episode. But if you're one of those people that don't like it, I encourage you to hit the down button and talk to me and say, we need to change things. But continuing with this topic, now, 2020, let's talk in the future. I don't have a crystal ball. I have no inside information. So this is all Boom's opinion. But this is where the show gets really good. And it starts to really tantalize Xbox fans. 2020, we're expecting the Xbox One X2, technically called right now Project Scarlet. Now, Microsoft has very little, as far as we know, going on in 2019. And we know what those titles are, right? We know it's Gears of War 5, which is going to be amazing. We already know that there's not going to be a Forza Motorsport 8, or, obviously they've already said that they're supporting, they're going to have continued support and updates and new cars and new tracks for Forza Motorsport 7. And obviously they're going to continue supporting Forza, Horizon 4, right? So now this is where the show gets fun. In 2020, I'm thinking sometime we're probably going to get a new Xbox One X2 in September. Now, I have no inside information. This is just completely speculation on my point. But could you just imagine what the launch lineup could possibly be? Well, I have, and I'm excited to talk about it today. We're probably going to get, and these are almost guaranteed titles, Forza Motorsport 8, Halo Infinite, and a new Fable game. There's just no doubt that by 2020, which is 2 years away, right? Literally, 2 full years, and we still have a little bit of 2018 left. So we're talking 25, 26 months before we get a new console. Those 3 titles, I'm almost guaranteeing going to be there. But this is where it gets good. In my opinion, I think not only are we going to get those 3 titles in the launch window, I think we're going to get the new Perfect Dark that the Coalition is currently working on, what they won't publicly admit. I think we're going to get the new MechAssault, and I think Sumo Digital is going to be doing that. I think we're going to get the new IP from Ninja Theory. I think we're going to get a new IP from In Exile, who's currently working on a title. And last, but certainly not least, we're going to get a new IP from Obsidian Games, which apparently is going to be shown off for the first time at the Game Awards. Now, I have goosebumps from the tips of my toes to the tips of my fingers. This list is ridiculous. Drew, if half of this list comes true, do you think that Xbox starts the next generation in the most powerful way possible?
Well, I can say this quite confidently, Boom. Forza Motorsport 8 is a given, I'd say. I can pretty much 100% say that's going to come. Halo Infinite is 100% going to be a launch title. That's a given. A new Fable. Now we know Fable's being worked on, and if we were to see it any sooner, then I'm not going to complain because I want to see that game. I want to play it as soon as possible. But let's be real. If while we know it's definitely being worked on, hush hush, tap the nose. If they're going to release it, the best time to release it would be on a new generation system. So that's a given. Perfect Dark, that's a good theory. I see no reason why not. I won't go as far to say it's a definite or a given because I don't know, but that's interesting. Mech Assault, that could be very interesting. Again, I won't go as far to say it's a given, but that would be awesome if that happens. But a new IP from Ninja Theory, In Exile, and Obsidian, those three as well are a given. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of your 8 that you mentioned, Boom, that I can wholeheartedly put $100 million, if I had that money anyway, on happening. Like those things at the least will happen, if not the other two as well that you mentioned. I can guarantee it, Boom. I can. If not, again, some more IPs. As there's already talk of 1 or 2 more acquisitions, one being IO Interactive, I think, and maybe another one. Like, who bloody knows, Boom? Like, let's just call a spade a spade. Xbox are not taking their foot off the gas. They are not messing around. And I have no doubt that, like I said, at least 6 out of those 8 that you mentioned are going to happen, if not more to come. I'm telling you, it's going to melt eyeballs, man.
I think it's going to melt eyeballs. I think that the term "going for the juggler" is something that Microsoft will be doing. Listen, take nothing away from what Sony has done in this generation. They have kicked the crap out of everyone, and rightfully so. First party led the charge, marketing led the charge, and what you have is an incredible generation for the PlayStation and its fans. And I congratulate them. And I happen to be one of those fans because when they win, I win, right? So when they had come out with these amazing first party games, which I love because they're single player, story driven, adult themed games that I dig, then of course I win. But I'm a Microsoft guy first and foremost, and I want to win as an Xbox gamer. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen in 2020. I think we're going to be blown away. I think that we're going to get a launch lineup second to nobody. And like I said, it's been a little dry for first party games going all the way back to 2017, 2018. We've had Sea of Thieves, we've had State of Decay, we have Forza Horizon 4, and that may be as an Xbox gamer, you may say, well, that's top notch. And I would be remiss to argue with you. I think all 3 of those games are fantastic. But if you're going to start a new generation coming off a loss, which is what Microsoft is doing, you're doing all of these hires, you've doubled your studios in 2018, you got to start the match, start the boxing match, and knock the person out in the first round. And I think that's what's going to happen in 2020. If I'm wrong, I'll publicly admit it, but I don't think I'm going to be. Now, with that said, Microsoft's patents for the Elite Controller 2.0 apparently have leaked. And this is what it says. Microsoft's customizable Xbox One Elite controller is going to have a lot of different things. The patent details the device called Game Controller with removable controller accessories. Now, it's catchy. It doesn't say much, but we all know that they're working on an Elite 2.0. I have multiple Elites. I have the regular standard black. I have the Gears of War. And on my Christmas list, hopefully Mrs. Claus, a.k.a. Mrs. BoomStick, comes through and gets me the white one. And it's the only controllers that I have because guess what? They are the best controllers in gaming, bar none. Drew, let me ask you this. Microsoft was supposed to show off the Elite 2.0 quite a few times. We thought it was going to happen at E3. It didn't. We thought it was going to happen at Gamescom. It didn't. We thought it was going to happen at XO18. It didn't. And you know what? Maybe, just maybe, they're kind of like letting off the gas a little bit, and we're going to get this thing in 2020, or maybe even in 2019, prior to the Xbox One X2 or AKA Project Scarlet coming out. What are your takeaways on the Elite 2.0, and do you think that the world is ready for it?
I'll say this first and foremost. I honestly do think that while they might have had prior thoughts or plans to announce it, maybe even at E3 just gone, or maybe even XO, who knows? But I do think while they are like firing off all cylinders with these acquisitions and the excitement's running wild, like, I mean, from the media to the YouTube channels like myself and you, Boom, like they're riding a pretty solid green wave at the minute of excitement and anticipation that I think they've realized, like, hold on, we don't need to like actually announce this. Maybe, and this is my thoughts on it, I think that they are going to wait until whenever it is now. I don't know if they might wait. It might be E3 2019. We see them announce Project Scarlet. So for when it comes out, maybe 2020, like they did with the Project Scorpio, they announced it at E3. What was it, 2017?
Yes.
And then it came out 2018 or late 2017. I can't remember, but you know what I mean. I'm wondering if they're going to announce the Elite Controller 2.0 when they announce Project Scarlet, so they can show the two things side by side, and even throw out there that there will be a bundle available where you can have the Project Scarlet console with the Elite 2.0 controller in box. I'm wondering if they're going to go about it like that, because there is no rush, Boom. Like, let's bottom line. Like, this is the thing. Like, this is where I stand with the Elite 2.0. It's good news. Don't get me wrong. It's phenomenal news that they're making another one. And people who have adopted the Elite controller are going to be fans. But I can't help but think, like, what could they possibly do apart from tweak it, like the overall design and stuff? I can't see what they could do or what more they could do than the OG Elite controller doesn't already offer. I could be completely wrong, but frankly, like, with that said, I can't wait for the Elite 2.0 to hit the shelves, because I can then get myself an OG Elite controller, because likely the price will come plummeting down, and as we know, the normal Elite's very, very good. So I'm a bit of a cheapskate myself, Boom, and so I look forward to that day. But you can't deny that the Elite was a success. The fact that it took like a whole year plus for some people to even get their orders, because they underestimated how much they were going to sell. It's unanimously chosen as like controller of the gen. Like, anyone who's used it will tell you that. And the fact that they're going to be making another one, likely making some huge, like, that's what I mean. I'm probably underselling it, but no doubt there's people who give feedback on the controller and how they can make it better. And as we both know, Xbox listen and the team behind the controller will obviously make all the tweaks and the changes necessary. And you can guarantee you're going to get your hands on a very delicious controller, which will obviously be sold separately. But I do have a big feeling that they're going to hold off the announcement of the Elite 2.0 for when they announce Project Scarlet, and then there'll be a bundle where you can get the two together available, like one of the SKUs or something. That's all I can say on the matter. It's definitely good news, Boom. Can't take that away from it at all.
Well, you know what? I have to piggyback on what you're saying, and why what you're saying is legitimate. We know that Sony is not attending E3 2019. And to be completely fair and honest, I'm actually disappointed as a gamer. Not a particular fan of a brand, but a gamer, because I look forward to their wackiness and I look forward to seeing new games, and we're not getting it. So, you know what? This opens the door for Microsoft to do exactly what you're saying. Hold off certain announcements that don't necessarily need to be spoken about right now, and take the E3 stage, give us a 2-hour, 2.5-hour show of bombs being dropped left and right. No Minecraft, no numbers, no TV, just games. And on PS, by the way, this is when we're releasing the Scarlet. This is how much the Scarlet is going to be, and this is what the launch lineup is going to look like. And you know what you might have? You might have the internet completely break. And I'm looking forward to E3 2019. I think that Microsoft, there's two things that you take away from this. One, Microsoft is going to be in control of their own destiny. End of story. Two, and this I think Phil kind of, maybe it keeps him up at night, they cannot miss the field goal with 1 second left. They need to make it. They don't need to be frozen by the by the fact that they're in the spotlight. They need to go out there and put on their big boy pants and blow every gamer away. Now, remember when I did, look what I just did there, folks. I didn't say Xbox gamer. I said gamer, meaning that the entire world, whether you fly the flag of Nintendo or the Sony, or if you're a PC guy or gal, you'll be watching, because that is going to be the conference to beat. They're going to be the only one in town. Now, Nintendo, they show up to E3, but they do their own thing. And you know what? If anything is to prove what they do, like last year's E3, people walked away disappointed, me being one of them. So Microsoft is going to have the spotlight on them, and I hope that they show up and they just knock it out of the park. But we're going to talk about a serious topic here.
Can I just chime in on one little thing, Boom?
Please, by all means.
You said something that resonated with me, and I have to say something. You said that Xbox is in charge of their own destiny, and I have to 110% back you all the way with that, and add on to that by saying that is why, and anyone listening, you can agree or disagree, I really don't care, but that is why, for me as a fan of Xbox, couldn't be more proud, maybe, should we say, of how much that they have done for us, the gamer, since 2013. Because, not taking anything away from the success that Sony has had with the PlayStation 4, but PlayStation as a whole was looking at bankruptcy, looking at, after the PS3 bloody debacle, it was not looking good. And they didn't so much take charge of their destiny, the media took charge of it for them. And frankly, if the media wasn't like literally promoting the shit out of everything they did, even if they literally took a shit, they would not be where they are now. And I back that horse all the way. I put my last penny on that horse. That's not taking anything away from what they have produced, but whether it was hot garbage or a God of War level bloody game, they have been preached to the high heavens by the media, and frankly, the media has been the sail on their ship that has been has constantly been moving. The Xbox has been the boat lagging 200 miles behind with 3 holes in the fucking thing, and every time Phil Spencer patches a hole, one of the media outlets, using the analogy, kicks the fucking hole in again, so it can never stay afloat. And even with that said, Phil Spencer has constantly been patching those holes until now he's got quite the fucking ship on his hand. And that is why I respect Xbox as a company, because they have been the underdog. They have, in fact, been the underdog. Xbox has, in fact, been driving and shaping their destiny moving forward, and they will continue to do that with big left-right punches, like you said, like a boxer knocking the opponent out come next generation. Whereas Sony, I got to be honest, if for 1 second the media decide, you know what, we've given Xbox enough shit, let's be fair, they've done everything right, let's start showing a bit of love their end, and the fixation goes from PlayStation to Xbox, like Sauron's eye, like the eye's looking elsewhere now. I'm wondering just how successful PlayStation will be, because I've said this since the beginning of the generation. There's not one game on that system that screams buy a PlayStation. I'm not saying that's a popular opinion. The majority of people listening to the show probably own a PlayStation and have enjoyed its games. And big ups to you, you included, Boom. But for me, it doesn't house anything I've wanted, and all the games for me, just looking at them, are copy and pastes for me. Okay. And it's done nothing for me that screamed revolutionary, amazing, innovation, the future of gaming. It's been very copy and paste, wish-washy, walking simulator for me, and that goes for the system as well. They've done nothing but just be carried by the media. And Xbox has been the opposite. They have been constantly kicked down and fought to stay on their 2 legs. And for me, as a fan of the system, I'm throwing the green flag out there. I don't care how much of an Xbox I sound, but I had to piggyback what you said about them shaping their own destiny, because it's absolutely fact. Xbox has been, up until this point, since Phil Spencer took the reins, and they continue to do so going into next gen. And with that said, eventually the media's got to come round and be like, fair enough, clap, clap, let's give these fuckers a round of applause. And honestly, I just wonder where that will actually leave Sony and PlayStation, when everyone unanimously, from Digital Foundry, IGN, and all the other media outlets, all the community start realizing, okay, maybe Xbox fucked up in 2013, but between now and then, they have done a lot right, and PlayStation is falling short. I mean, they've blown their load and they got nothing to show 2019. It's really showing, Boom, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Boom, rant over, bitch.
Well, you know what? That was actually a fantastic rant, and I don't think that you're an Xbot at all. I think that you're a fan talking about a brand that you love, and you're not being disrespectful like some of the internet trolls that unfortunately rule Twitter. And think that they have a voice on YouTube where they just rant about how Xbox sucks and has no games. But let's move on to a very serious topic. And you and I didn't get a chance to talk much about this, but I sent you the commercial. Now, the term, when everyone plays, we all win. It's a very simple statement that on its own may not hold weight to the average person. But if you are a person that has been keeping their ear to the grinding social media monster, also known as Twitter, you'll know there's been shenanigans going on regarding the adaptive controller. On Monday, November 19th, Microsoft marketing team released the most spectacular gaming commercial in recent history. It was moving, emotional, and told a story of triumph. If you're thinking that Boom has lost it, you'd be very wrong. I implore you to please watch for yourself and then DM me if I was wrong in this particular topic. Now, I will have the link in the show notes, but everyone on, obviously, talking with Drew, he asked for it. I sent him the link. You watched it. Now, everyone knows that I'm not into the plastic wars nonsense or bother with the trolls of Twitter. But what I witnessed from some of this community's members was nothing short of disgusting. See, here's the question that I have for the panel. Well, the chat, and of course, you, Drew. How in God's name could a commercial that shows someone with a handicap having the time of their life due to the release of the adaptive controller be turned into internet hate because of an affiliation to another gaming platform is beyond my understanding. Now, if I were a dick, and I'm not, because I have standards and ethics and honor, I would drop their names live on my show. But because I have class and integrity, I'm not going to change my ethics to do so. Though I do say this, I was horrified and then pissed as hell to say that people were actually commenting negatively on something that could change someone's lives. Now, here's the thing. I'm 48 years old. I've been gaming a real long time. And there's something that I haven't lost in all these years. The excitement of putting on your console, regardless of what it is, booting up a new game and getting that Christmas morning feeling. Now, you know what? For Boom, they used to make fun of me at the police department because you know what my life was like? Unicorns and rainbows all day long. And that's how I treated the people and the amazing citizens of New York City. And that's how I treat this community. Now, my question to you, Drew, is this. Did you see this transpire on Twitter? And what was your take on the matter? And more importantly, did you see the commercial and did it not tug at your heartstrings?
Well, while I will not ask you to mention names, could you at least give me one or two examples of what was said by these trolls?
Well, there were a few people that said, let me see if I can remember because it was a couple of weeks ago. So a few of the memorable ones were, why is Xbox putting out this commercial? Why is this controller a big deal? Is one of them. Why are kids running to rally around? I seen them say something negative about the kid, which I thought was just god awful. Again, I don't have the tweets in front of me, so I'm paraphrasing, but it was it hurt me so much that I had to make this a topic because, this controller is not just your average controller. This is a world-changing type of controller. Do you understand? Like right now, some people can't understand because you have your two hands, you have your two arms. But if you're a person that was born or was in an accident, a horrific accident that lost the ability to hold something in your hands, to play something like as simple as a game. This controller is going to change gaming. And I thought that like I said, I'm not going to bring it up every episode, but I thought that this just needed to be addressed on how incredible this controller is and how proud of I am personally to say that the company that I love the best is looking beyond the profit. That's the big thing.
Well, I'm going to say this, Boo, right? when I went to EGX 2018, I actually went to the booth where the charity organization that funded and helped make this adaptive controller was actually there, and I got chatting to the women there. You know, put some money in their pot, had a bracelet and everything. It was really nice to get behind the curtain on how they worked on this machine. And if you go check out my EGX coverage video, there's actually bits where me, MicroBoxX, and Andrew McKee were actually playing with the thing itself. And to say it's a miraculous bit of machinery for the non-able, if we're being politically correct, I don't know what the right word is. People who are less
disabled
able,
gamer
like,
would be the correct term.
It's a phenomenal thing. And do you know what really makes me laugh? Is G-Man 1172. I won't read it out because it's obviously a sensitive thing, but he gave me a pretty accurate example of what he read. Saying that people have low standards, that the people with disabilities, that's why they play Xbox and stuff like that.
That was one of them. Yes, that one was that was gross, man. Yeah, good on G-Man for reminding me. Good one.
But it's just disgusting, man. And it's like bottom line, like what makes me laugh is the fact that these ponies and these trolls, these disgusting Sony fanatics, and trolls in general, but the people who hate on Xbox have taken the piss out of this because they finally are doing a commercial, very beautiful commercial as well, might I add. I just want to throw that out there. It was stunning. Definitely pulled on my heartstrings. But the funny thing is, I can basically confirm now that Sony and PlayStation are working on their own version of this controller with the same charity organization that made the adaptive controller for Microsoft. So all these fucking idiots who are taking the piss out of Microsoft about the fact they have controllers and this, and are these people who have low standards play on Xbox, like it's gonna come round and make them look stupid anyway, because the PlayStation and most likely Nintendo at some point as well are going to have a controller like this. So that just makes me laugh. But honestly, like on my thoughts of the commercial, I thought it was very well done. It was really nice, and it touched me. It hit close to home for me because I had a sister. I never met her, God bless her, but she died before I was born. But I had a Down syndrome sister, and I've been told stories all my growing up, watched old videotapes from when she was younger, pictures all around my parents' house. So I feel like I knew her, and it's always been a big part of me, to respect anyone, whether they're disabled or not. It's never bothered me. And then my son, he's 4 years of age, and he's got autism, quite severe. He's non-verbal. He can't talk yet. He's still wearing nappies and stuff like that. I mean, I've got no problem being open about this stuff because I'm an open guy. I'm a transparent guy, a lot like yourself, Boom. But my point is, if I thought for 1 second that Microsoft are working on something, or they have in fact worked on it, on something that could have potentially, if my sister was alive today, given her the option to play consoles, my son, while non-verbal and still struggling with communication and a lot of other of his basic motor skills and stuff, that there could be a time in the next year or so when he gets more to grips with his coordination and that, where I could buy him, my own son, a adaptive controller, and he can have a play on it and whatever. And me and him can finally game with one another, which has been a dream of mine since he was born. It begs belief. And that's the thing. I think if you're not just a level-headed gamer, but just a decent human being, you understand full well how beautiful this is and how amazing this is. And frankly, unfortunately for the ponies and the fanatics of the gaming community that have no limit of the depths they'll go to stroke their ego, And as pathetic as it is, because when you break it down, it is all just plastic boxes. I have nothing other to say than they like. I think, well, I'm not going to even entertain giving them the time of day. I'm not giving them the limelight. I'm just going to throw this out there to just about anyone in the world. You're better off just not responding to these people because they get a kick out of people arguing with them. If you just ignore them or block them and look the other way, they lose. End of the day, like I said, if you're a decent human being, you know why this is such a beautiful thing. And that advert, that commercial boom, was nothing short of breathtaking. And like I said, it hit home for me because of the things I shared a moment ago.
Well, you know what? First, I want to say this. Thank you so much for sharing your personal story on my show. I feel absolutely honored, and it makes me even feel closer to you as a brother to know information like that. So, good on you for opening up and giving us your personal point of view. That's beautiful. Real quick, I have to shout out two people in the chat. Butcher Van, who I'm a big fan of this guy. He's a community good guy. He's on Coffee Casuals and Consoles. If you're not following this dude, shame on you. He says one comment was the video was good until the R word, I don't even want to say it, did the Fortnite dance. Now, I'm going to, and then right after that, a good friend of mine, and that was on my show last week, Slow Mo Backslap says people who can't stop console warring, even in this case, are trash. Now, listen, here's the thing. Those are fantastic statements. I'm glad Butcher Van pointed it out because that's actually one I did not see. And it just makes me even more happy that I brought up this topic because I want the world to talk about this controller. But before I go any further, before I move on to the next topic, I have to, shout out a couple of people in the super chat. First of all, Infamous Fabs with the $5 super chat. I want to say thank you very much for that. Every dollar helps. He says, hit that like button. Love the matchup here. Keep it up, Boom and Welsh. Well, this is a program that isn't going away, and we're only going to get better. Then after that, the $2 super chat from Safi Addy or Offie. He says, you guys are great make great videos and are good mates. Well, listen, $2 is $2. I thank you for every penny. I don't expect anything. And last but certainly not least, with the mega $10 super chat, Matthew Paris says, just wanted to share the love. Keep up the awesome work, gents. Listen, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate everything that you do. The fact that you're here, over 100 people watching live is just bananas to me. But you know what? Let's move on to the next topic. Microsoft is looking to make a new Xbox Asia division dedicated to gaining more presence in Japan and Asia. And because Nintendo Switch has taken a stronghold over the Xbox and, of course, the mighty PS4, they need to get involved. Now, we know that Project xCloud is on the horizon. Microsoft could be in a position to actually have gamers of that region buy Xbox games. So now you're saying, wait a second. They failed in Japan, Boom. What are you talking about? Yes, they did fail. And you know what? The PS4 is considered a failure in Japan because guess what? Mobile gaming is what it's all about in that region. Okay, now here I want to read you a description of what the plan is for Microsoft in Japan and the Asian regions. The Microsoft Global Gaming Partnership and Development Team, GGPD, they're not the police department, is looking for a knowledgeable, experienced, and energetic leader to lead partnership and business development in Japan, China, South Korea, and make Microsoft a global leader in gaming. Now, you're asking yourself, how is this possible, Boom? No one is buying consoles in these regions. And I'd say you're 100% correct. Now, whether you know it or not, you come to this channel because you want knowledge, and I'm going to drop it on you right now. AMD has a powered handheld called the PC Smack Z that's set to enter mass production in early 2019, and by all accounts, should work with Microsoft's Project xCloud. With the already strong working relationship Xbox has with AMD, could we see a potential partnership in the future? And if they do, this is going to offer a very powerful handheld with Xbox Game Pass and the rest of their services in tow. Now, Drew, I go to you on this. First of all, the AMD handheld is very similar to the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch is still selling out in these Asian regions. Why? Because it's freaking awesome. And more importantly, it's portable. Now, one thing we know about Japan and the Asian markets is that they are PC centric. There's been a turn in the tide. In the 80s and 90s, they were console centric. Now they're PC centric and handheld centric, more so with the handheld. So with this new system and an already amazing relationship with AMD, could Microsoft possibly gain ground in these Asian markets by offering a team up with this handheld PC smack and Game Pass and having Play Anywhere? What are your takes on this?
Well, you said it best. In Japan and Asia in general, that it's very PC centric and handheld centric. Consoles have sort of taken a dive, which is fine, but it's obviously just it's just the Game Boy culture, I call it. Like,
yes.
They just love that style of gaming, and big ups to them. They know what they enjoy. But this brings me back to the Xbox Play Anywhere initiative and everything that they're hoping to achieve with the xCloud as well. And just picture this, like, it's all in full effect. Like, everything is working. It's in great working order. People are streaming to their phones, their tablets, PCs to their Xboxes, to their bloody Xbox Stream Box, whatever, if that is actually going to be a thing, or this AMD handheld. Whatever the case, what I think is amazing is Xbox, because as I've said it on the Saltiest Gaming podcast when I was on the other week. I've said it before on my podcast. I've said it before on this podcast. I've said it before loads of times. Xbox is not restricted or limiting itself to just the plastic box anymore. So, and what if people are wondering, like, what would you mean? Like, people have been living under a rock. The Play Anywhere initiative is basically Xbox, the brand across devices, and that means that yes, you'll still be able to get the traditional console box, but that will not be the only way you can access Xbox and its library in the future. Hence the xCloud and this AMD like handheld, if it comes to fruition, and being able to stream to tablet, phone, whatnot. So what I'm getting at, Boom, I needed to paint a picture. But when you say to me, Drew, do you think that Xbox will succeed in Asia, the PC gamers and the people who play the Game Boy culture, so the people who play the Nintendo Switch or the PSP, if that's still around, I don't know, whatever? I'll say this. Yes, and I say quite confidently yes, and I'll continue by saying I see no reason why it can't, because over in Asia we've just established they're PC centric and handheld centric, and with this xCloud and Play Anywhere initiative under the Xbox ecosystem umbrella, it pretty much covers all bases. So there's no reason, if someone in Asia, wherever they may be, is on their PC or has a smartphone or has this AMD handheld, whatever, assuming they're all compatible at this point with the xCloud and stuff like that, and they see, I fancy playing Gears 5. There's literally nothing stopping them. So that just basically answered. I don't know if I actually answered your question.
No, you did.
But it's just, and then like you said, with Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass is like an perk level entry model. Like if you buy this AMD handheld, or if you subscribe to Xbox Game Pass on your smartphone or tablet, you will get a free year of Xbox Game Pass, or just so people in Asia who might not have played half these games for whatever reason can get themselves in the deep end and have a bit of fun. I literally, in a nutshell, I see no reason why this couldn't succeed. I won't go as far to say it will succeed. I'm saying I can't see why it shouldn't succeed, because Xbox is literally, with the Play Anywhere initiative that they've been touting since about 2014, and it's nearly finally coming to full effect, they will literally have every single person covered, no matter what type of gamer you are. So whether you're in Asia, Australia, Wales, England, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you play on a PC, a console, you want to play on your phone, handheld, Xbox will have you covered. So worldwide, globally, Xbox is going to be the brand across all devices. That's all I can say, really, Boom.
Well, you know what? What you said was great. And we also, you know, when we talk about these topics, you know, I don't put everything immediately on paper because if you know, I already sent you them in the DM and it's like a scroll because I over prepare. That's how I run these shows because I want to put out the best product possible. And while you were talking, something came to mind that I didn't even put on this scroll of a list of topics. Phil Spencer has gone to Japan, at least as far as we know, half a dozen times in 2018. Now, when you put that information with what we're saying, it's starting to build a little bit of a picture here, right? We're starting to see that maybe he's going to speak with Japanese developers and say, hey, listen, we know that the box itself doesn't sell, but we have this xCloud gaming. We have Xbox Game Pass that for $10 a month, well, I don't know what the yen translation would be, can get you over 200 games. And who's to say that they're not going to make an announcement and partner up with AMD to put Game Pass and Xbox games on this handheld? Listen, the potential for sales are going to go through the roof. So I don't know. I'll close it out with that. I mean, first of all, I have to say this. We're breaking records today, dude. And I have to thank the chat once again. 122 people watching live.
Wow.
You got to understand, folks. First of all, I've only been on YouTube for a year. Okay. I've only been retired for a couple of years because of a spinal cord injury. I'm walking. I had the surgery. I'm good. Right. But I just couldn't be a cop anymore. And now I found my second career in gaming. And it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for these 122 plus people that are in the chat that are watching live. I cannot thank you enough for that. This is a dream come true for me. But let's move on to the next topic. Ray Cox, a.k.a. Stallion83, made history for the second time. Now, if you're not sure who Ray Cox is, let me give you a refresher course. He was the first gamer / man to break 1 million gamer score. Well, guess what, folks? He did it again, and he broke 2 million gamer score, which is ridiculous. Now, I currently have 254,000 gamer score, which I think is impressive. But when I stack it next to this dude, it's like a limp dick. I'm sorry. 2 million gamer score, folks. I want to talk about this. One of the reasons why I find this special is the way Microsoft as a company celebrates these kinds of achievements, no pun intended. They take their fan base serious. And the fact that they made a big deal over this is amazing. Now, I want to talk to you, Drew, because you're an Xbox guy. You don't worry about trophies, right? Nintendo doesn't have them. First of all, are achievements important to you as a gamer? And more importantly, can you believe that someone broke 2 million in 2018?
I mean, Christ, I've got quite a lot to cover on this particular topic, but answering your initial question, do trophies / achievements mean anything to me? To be honest, I'm very lazy with achievements. I am so lazy. And do you know what's really crazy is, like, I honestly don't think, at least in my case, because I'm a very multiplayer focus, like the vast majority of my gaming is multiplayer. So take Gears 4, for example, which is probably my most played game this generation. There's only so many achievements you can earn with the multiplayer, and I probably haven't touched like hardly any of the achievements. So I'm terrible. I'm very lazy. I wish I had the patience. I respect anyone with a high gamer score. Like, I literally go through games and I don't even check what game score I could even get, even the easy ones. My friends come over and they look through my gamer score and they're like, well, you know, all you have to do is throw a ball in a can and you get 10G. What the hell's going on here? Well, I'm like, oh, bloody hell, go away. Like, but no, it's funny, man. But like, literally, like, to get 1 million is one thing. Like, I know Randall Thor done it. And then like this guy, you know, to hit 2 million. I mean, it's nothing short of impressive. But no, I'll let you carry on, Boom. So I do have something I want to say with regards to Xbox and the community and stuff. But I'll let you continue.
Okay, yeah, we'll get back to you in 1 sec. I just want to say this. Again, if 2 million gamer score is ridiculous. And I am a gamer score freak. I am a hunter, an achievement hunter. If you follow me, if you're a friend with me or you follow me on social media, my Xbox gamer tag, MrBooMStickXL, is out there for everyone to friend me. I accept all friend requests, so don't worry about that. I am playing currently Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which I think is one of the finest games of 2018. And I have been searching for the last 6 days. 6 days of trying to get the last 20-point achievement. I am at 1,020, and there's 1040 for gamer score for the entire game. It's my favorite game of the year, and I don't know if it's a glitch, because sometimes with the with Ubisoft games, they get a little glitchy. And I put it to this way: if you've ever seen the map for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, it's tremendous. There is not one question mark left on that map. So to say that I'm a freak for gamer score would be an understatement. I vow to get that last damn achievement before the DLC drops. But you know what? Real quick before I get to you, I got to thank Aiden Williams with the amazing $10 super chat. Thank you so much. He says, love the show, brothers. And yes, we love that you guys come to this show each and every Thursday and that you're entertained, because that's why we do it. But Gad, go with your point regarding the Xbox community, my friend.
Well, like you alluded to it earlier, and you mentioned me when we were talking privately on Twitter. But what's brilliant about this, though, is like, name one other platform that like celebrates like Microsoft does when a community member reaches a height like this. Like, Microsoft actually go out of their way to celebrate with the individual, and individuals in the community rally around as well. Like, I don't know if you already said it, Boom, but that Ray Cox Stallion 83, when he did reach 1 million, as you mentioned earlier on Twitter, he was awarded a lifetime supply.
Yes, good point. Good one. Yes.
He was given a lifetime supply for free, obviously. Like, he never has to pay for Xbox Live Gold again. I think that's phenomenal. Once again, like, you just don't see that anywhere. That's what makes Xbox and the community so. I mean, I'm just going to be blunt, Boom. You know what I'm like. I mean, this ain't going to be another rant. This is just me giving kudos to Xbox and its community and the people in it. But this is what sets Xbox apart from any other like gaming community, in my opinion. From communication, the network, feedback, praise, constructive criticism, you name it, Xbox has you covered. Nintendo one day might have a chance that, if their network was improved upon and, was a bit more advanced, maybe in time. That's not a criticism, Boom, as I know you like Nintendo, and anyone who likes Nintendo, that's not a criticism. It's just pointing out that there is potential there, because it is a very family-friendly console. They just need to make it easier and better to communicate. Because from what I've been told, just to party up with someone who has a Nintendo on like Fortnite is a nightmare. So, like, there is potential there because they got a nice community, but it needs to obviously be fixed. And then for Sony, with the exception of the odd Sony fan that I am even friends with, to be fair, Ice Queen Gaming in the chat is one example I can give you, that just enjoy games, so Sony fans.
Right.
Other than people like that, the fan base is so fucking toxic and hostile in comparison, and that is literally from the pony level, so bottom of the freaking bucket, all the way up the ladder to Yoshida himself, are scum. Who?
Yeah, they're not consumer friendly at all. I would have to agree with you on that.
No, literally, whether you're a pony from the ground level, literally licking shit off the floor, all the way up to Yoshida, who's the one taking the shit on that floor, and you're licking it up because the ponies are fanatical, are scum. And when I compare it to the Xbox community and what they do, and how they praise the gamers and the community, and it is a network. The communication, the feedback, everything. And it just goes to show time and time again, and something like this Ray Cox coming forward with, having 2 million game score and the praise he's gotten, and how people even know about it because of how well, how much of a pedestal it's put on. But it just goes to show time and time again that Xbox is the most gamer and consumer friendly ecosystem by a mile, and little things like this just prove it. So I don't care I don't care if people want to call me out and say I'm this, I'm that. I'm just pointing out what I believe is the facts. You know, Xbox has, you know, been trodden on, had the finger pointed, and time again, it always seems to be doing something wrong. Eye roll. But bottom line, little things like this it's just a soft reminder for me that Xbox is the best platform to play on. For me, the games are the best, the community's the best, the people behind it are the best because they communicate. And for little things like this, like a community member who's reached an amazing milestone and he's making Xbox history is being rewarded, and people know his name because of the guys at Microsoft who tweet it out and throw like awards and prizes out there for the community. It's amazing, Boom. Like, please tell me if you think I'm just bloody, I don't know, being over the top. I don't know, but I wouldn't feel right if I didn't say all those things. Because call me a fanboy, anyone, please. I don't care. I'm just calling out the facts. Like it's a fact.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. You know, when you know, the one thing I learned as a human being, forget being a police officer, forget my career for a second. I never put everybody under an umbrella, right? I mean, that's just the way I am. I deal with people on a one-on-one basis. That's how I was as a New York City police officer, because you know, some people are going to have good days, some people are going to have bad days, and you're going to have the real bad guys. I mean, that you're going to have the real good guys. It's just that's life. Social media is very much the same thing. In regards to what you said about the toxic community, I'm going to have to say this. I know plenty of PlayStation players that are just gamers, right? And they are what push the community forward. And they're the same people that show up in your chat. And I'm not saying yours particularly, but in the YouTube chat to talk with other gamers, regardless of what console that they play on, and they're just happy to talk about games. And on both sides of the fence, the Xbox players included, there is a toxic community that ruins it for everyone. Now, I am going to say this: I don't know a lot of the toxicness that goes on in the Xbox, but I will say this: there is a tremendous nastiness, and it's probably because it's a younger generation that owns the PlayStation 4, because it, again, you have to remember something. When you think about Xbox, you think about hardcore. When you think of PlayStation 4, you think of casual gamers who are not diehard gamers, who are kids, sometimes create these accounts on Twitter, because obviously this is a very social media focused world now, going back as far as 5 years. And the younger generation, you know, when they write these horrible things, you don't know the age of the person. You're just seeing the name. You know what I'm saying? Like PlayStation Gamer number 1, he's saying you're this, that, and the third, or they're the ones making the comments about the adaptive controller, and you just walk away disgusted. Now, I know of plenty of older guys in my age group, maybe a little bit younger, that I have blocked. And I won't name them because I'm not giving them any credibility or putting it out there that I blocked them. But they're part of that social toxic fanboy for the PlayStation brand that I don't like. Do I think that you were harsh? Well, that's your opinion. You're absolutely entitled to it. But I am going to agree with you that when you talk about Ushida and you talk about Sean Layden, these guys aren't giving handshakes to their fans. They're getting up there in their $1,000 suit, giving a speech and going off back into their office or into their limo. Whereas Phil Spencer, Aaron Greenberg, you know, these guys are shaking hands. They're doing fist bumps. You know, they hear about a problem with someone and they reach out to that person. I'm a prime example of that. Aaron Greenberg reached out to me personally when my Elite Gears of War controller broke. I sent it in to be repaired, and they sent me the black one. And I was devastated because right now that controller is $800. So he found out about it, and he reached out to me personally. He said, "Hey, listen, I'm sorry for the mix-up. We're going to rectify this. Keep the black one. Give it away as a gift if you want. I'm going to get you the Xbox Elite controller you sent brand new." And that's what he did. So there you go.
I got again. What you just said is testament to everything I just said. Like,
yes,
when you'd never get that with any other community. You'd never get that with any other platform. That is what sets Xbox apart. The fact that Aaron Greenberg himself reached out to you. That's incredible. I didn't even know
personally.
that happened, Boom. That's amazing.
He actually DM'd me. He DM'd me. Aaron Greenberg of Microsoft. I mean, come on.
That's awesome, man. That is awesome. I can't see Yoshida, reaching out to someone who's got a broken controller. If anything, he'd be the one that would try and resell the broken controller for twice the price.
Well, look,
and take a shit on it, and the ponies would still eat it up.
Well, I hope not. I hope not.
You carry on, Boo.
No. I mean, listen, it's funny, but you know what? Let's move on to the next topic because it's a good one. Now, I pulled this story from Windows Central, and if you're not following a guy like Jez Corden, I think you should. He is. He's very good friends with Randall Thor. They do a show weekly, the Xbox 2 podcast. And even though Randall Thor has over 21,000 subs, which is unbelievable, the guy breaks his ass doing his videos. He doesn't need Boom's help to push his show, but I am going to say that the Xbox 2 podcast is fantastic and should be listened to for everyone that's an Xbox fan. But getting back to Jez Corden, I really like the dude. He's honest. He's down to earth. I like Windows Central as a whole because they give us good information. And the information I have for you guys is this. They were interviewing the developers of Crackdown 3 and discussing Crackdown 3's delays, designs, vision, and a dream of Crackdown 4. Are we kidding me? Well, guess what? That has me absolutely excited for this game. Not because it's going to break expectations. It's going to change people's minds. It's going into Game Pass day and date. There's 1,000 orbs to collect, which Boom is going crazy over. But you're going to be able to play destructible environments, which they promised. You're going to be able to play co-op with your friends in the main story. There's just so much to talk about with Crackdown 3. Now, we know that the project has notoriously been delayed numerous times. It was first announced at E3 2014. Wow, that's a long time ago. Microsoft Studios creative director Joseph Staten noted that the technology behind the cloud contributed to the long development cycle, but that ultimately the goal has been reached. Let's discuss the new information and what it means to other Microsoft first parties moving forward, that they're going to take advantage of this engine, right? The cloud technology they've been talking about for so long. Now, it's a two-pronged question. First of all, Crackdown 3, to say I'm excited is an understatement. The fact that we're going to be blowing up each other on destructible environments has me hyped beyond belief. But I want to hear your take on part one of this two-part topic. Are you excited for Crackdown 3, and are you happy that they're going to be able to rub this in the nose of all the naysayers?
Absolutely. And I'm very much looking forward to it. And it'd be nice, for it must have been, let's be fair. Like I've always said, like delays are never a bad thing as long as the game ends up great. Don't get me wrong. Don't test me. There was moments where, after like Crackdown 3's like 704th delay, I was a bit like, come on now, like what the hell's going on here? But I wouldn't go as far to say I was hating. It was just like, as an impatient person who was happy to wait, but felt they'd waited long enough to say I was excited when, it was finally said to release, and then like, them like, with XO just gone, they shown the multiplayer and like, the trailers, the Terry Crews, and hey yo, what's going on? And then like the and then the the single player looks fantastic. Christ, part one of this question is very easy for me to answer, Boom, because I am very excited. I am very excited for this game, and mainly I'm a multiplayer head, me, so I'll definitely play the single player and likely very much enjoy it, especially with the 4-player co-op as well. But I'm very much looking forward to the multiplayer. The fact that it's going to tick every box and make good with all of the promises, which, let's be fair, as Xbox fans, as people who've been waiting for this game, that was one of our biggest fears. Will it, stick to its promises? And it has. So I'm very excited for that. And this game is going to shut up a lot of people. It really is. My only concern is, though, because of how long it's taken to come out, I think a lot of people's expectations are going to be really, really, really high, like maybe too high. And while I do think it's going to be a great game, that is never a good thing when going into like a revisited franchise that's had maybe this many delays, because it's kind of going to open up a wormhole of hate. It's annoying, but I do honestly think that, good or bad, this game is going to get so much hate from the media. And I can see it now. I hope I'm wrong. The fans are going to be happy. People who've been waiting for this game are going to be happy. But I do think it's going to get a lot of hate, like people saying it's underwhelming. You can see it. I can see the articles now. Underwhelming. How is this game this, and this when it took them 5 years to make it? You'd think they only spent a month on it. You can hear it now. Like people are going to pick holes in it. Your digital foundries are probably going to pick holes in it. But yeah, I'm looking forward. Personally, on a personal level, I'm very much looking forward to playing it.
Well, you know what? I want to just read a quote from where's his name here? Joseph Staten. He says this: "We knew going in when we started Crackdown 3 that this technology was a heavy lift. Azure-powered, multiplayer, fully destructible environments was going to take a lot of investment and a lot of time to get right. Now, to a large extent, the project schedule was largely been driven due to that technology investment. We really have landed this full destructible Azure-powered experience. It's really unlike any game we've tried to design before, where you can blow up everything. Now, we know that Crackdown 3 is going to be good. I'm saying on the air live, I know it's going to be fantastic. I know people are going to be playing the multiplayer. I know people are going to want to team up with Boom and find these damn orbs, all 1,000 of them. But there's something more to this than just Crackdown 3. First of all, they're Crackdown 4. And why that excites me is this. I'm a fan of the series since day one. I didn't buy the game because Halo 3 demo was in there. I bought it because I like third-person games. I like single-player story games. And Crackdown 3 is going to deliver on that in spades. Plus, we're getting the multiplayer, which I will dabble in because it looks fun as hell. But again, that's not where the story stops. If, and it looks like they did it, are able to get this cloud technology working on a small game like Crackdown 3, the potential for other first-party Microsoft titles to take advantage of this would be amazing. That's the second part of this question, and I want to hear your answer in regards to titles like Halo, titles like Forza, titles like Gears of War, titles like any of the studios that they bought could be using the Azure technology to push their games further. How much does that excite you as a gamer, Welsh?
I'm gonna quote a good friend of mine, ErockX, and he's been saying this for a long time. Xbox innovates, everyone else imitates.
Yeah.
And this is a first of its kind. Like full 100% destructible environments. Crackdown 3 has taken them a number of years, but they have finally done it. It is successful and they're using the cloud, the servers, the Azure servers, no doubt, with Xbox and everything. Everything at their disposal. The connections and the network that has been, and the budget and whatever that the Xbox has provided to them, and they've made it work. They've done it. They've succeeded. Now, I think the big question here, Boom, isn't like, would I like to see or Halo Gear? It's this. Do you honestly think for 1 second, especially going into another generation, games only getting bigger? Red Dead 2 is absolutely testament to this.
Yep.
Do you think for 1 second that if Crackdown and its multiplayer is even half the success that I'm hoping it will be, that Microsoft are just going to be like, no, Coalition and 343, pipe down. You're not having this, all right? You're not. This is only for Crackdown 3. Only for Crackdown 3. Fuck you lot. This is only for Crackdown 3. No. Microsoft shares its toys. And I've said it before. You remember, Boom, the camaraderie between the networks, the camaraderie between all the developers at Xbox. They pump each other up. They big each other up. They help each other out. They like literally hands-on help each other out with each other's projects. You don't think for 1 second, if this turns out to be as successful as we both hope and wish and expect it to be, we won't see this like level of destruction in other games under the Xbox umbrella. It's going to be marking a new chapter, I think, in the future of games coming out with the Xbox and its first party. I really do believe that. I really do. I think even if it's not the case of like 5v5 in a confined map, 100% destructible environment, maybe it'll be the case of like, say, Playground Games working on Fable. They want to have realistic destruction in their game. Like if you shoot a fire arrow at a tree, the tree will light and stay alight and burn down until it's nothing but coal. Something like that. Just something simple like that, just for an example. They could just be like, they could get in contact with the guys at Crackdown and be like, any chance you could like come over, give us a hand, show us how you did this, how you tapped into the servers and done it in this way. And, maybe a game like Fable or Halo or Gears will only be able to get 70 or 80% destructible environments and not 100 true, full destructible environments. But it's still a step above what any of the other competition games are doing.
Yes.
And it's something that I do think is going to be very, very present in games moving forward. And Crackdown is basically starting it all, because it's taken them a long time. And I say Crackdown, I got to give Microsoft this credit too, because it is them. They're the ones that have funded it, provided the technology. They're the ones like housing this. But Crackdown, the guys behind Crackdown, have made it a reality. And first party at Xbox can only benefit if they want to tap into the same technology.
Well, let me just say this. First of all, what you're talking about is fantastic and makes perfect sense. And you kind of brought up a little bit of a point that I just want to kind of elaborate on. These divisions of the Microsoft family, and I say that word not loosely, but truthfully, family work with one another. Right, Rod Ferguson, even though he's attached to Gears, do you think that gentleman would be would hold back tech or info to help maybe somebody at 343? Or do you think that Obsidian's new IP that they're going to be possibly showing off at the Game Awards this year would, if they needed help, you don't think someone on one of those development teams say, hey, in Exile, you're now part of the Microsoft family, we kind of need help with this? They would reach out to one another. And that's what makes all of these acquisitions and Microsoft as a company special. But I want to move on to the next and final topic of today's show. And once again...
Boom.
Oh, no, please continue.
I've done this so many times. I'm so sorry. I keep having to
No, absolutely. Listen, let me just say this. This is a conversational podcast. We're here to entertain the folks that are listening, and we'll listen eventually. So please take it away.
I just have to say this. Like, put this into perspective. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, PUBG, otherwise known, Winner Chicken Dinner game, that wasn't even a legitimate exclusive of Xbox's. They just provided a platform for it to be developed early on the Xbox with the preview program. And Xbox sent people from Rare, who gave us Sea of Thieves, over to help the guys at PUBG to improve their water effect.
Yes,
now, put that
correct.
into perspective, guys. PUBG isn't even owned by Microsoft. Yeah, they might have helped here and there, but they just all they've done is give it a platform to get better by using the preview program. And now it'll be eventually on the PlayStation. They don't own that game. It's not under their umbrella. Yet they still sent over some of their talented folks over at Rare, one of their first party studios, to help out the game. So this is why I keep saying the camaraderie, the unity between these first-party studios. It's crazy. I don't want to just repeat what I just said, but Crackdown 3 has tapped into something that no other game developer is doing, and it's definitely going to be shared to some extent between the first party, and that goes for anyone. Like if the guys at Playground are struggling with the mechanics of a certain, like, you know, say there's guns in their game and they're struggling with the gun mechanics. They'll be like, yo, Coalition, can you come over and help us? And then if the Coalition decide to do a big team battle game type with cars and stuff, and they're like, do you know what, cars aren't really our strong suit. Yo, Playground, any chance you can come over and give us a hand with getting these car mechanics good and ready, so it's a bit more realistic and more immersive, blah, blah. And that's just two examples. Like, it's not being done. They're not doing it at Nintendo. They're certainly not doing it at PlayStation. Everyone's for themselves. Xbox is a consumer-friendly company, but it's also like a developer-friendly company where they all muck in with one another, share ideas, help each other out. And that is why you can see, I'm guaranteeing some incredible fucking games come next generation, because you'll have not just one development team working on it, but probably multiple at one time or another, because they're all going to pitch in and help each other out. It's phenomenal. And Crackdown's 100% destructible environments, I've said it already, is a milestone that has not been achieved, and I can't wait to see where that takes games in the future. Boom. My apologies for cutting you off.
No, don't be silly. Real quick before we move on to the last topic, a big shout out to two people. Z Black Rider and Old School G. These guys constantly send me hot off the presses info and help this show move along. So a big thank you and shout out to them in the chat. Now, another Xbox Factor podcast, and another topic that revolves around Xbox Game Pass. So why, you ask? In a story that I pulled from XboxWire.com, if the 16 games that were announced at XO18 were not enough, we're adding 3 more to the Xbox Game Pass catalog over the coming week, and I'm hyped. Starting with Gardens Between, which is an indie title, on November 29th, which is tomorrow. Oh, no, it's today. My God, I'm a day behind. Mutant Year Zero on December 4th. That's also an indie title I will be downloading, but this is where it gets good. Now, if you haven't heard of this title, you should check it out because it looks amazingly fun. Strange Brigade will be appearing in Game Pass, which I wanted this so bad. I just didn't have the money for it, and now I don't have to buy it because it's in Game Pass on December 6th. Now, here's the thing. We keep talking about this, and I keep beating this drum. And if it's a topic that you're tired of hearing, DM me and say, listen, Boom, we don't want to hear about Game Pass anymore. But I had to make the announcement of these 3 new titles coming in, and one of which I'm really, really excited to play, and that, of course, is Strange Brigade. What is your takeaway from them just continually adding games to a service that's only $10 a month? And if you buy now, I still believe until the end of the year, 6 months of Game Pass is $30. Take it away, Welsh.
Oh, no, that's cool. That's cool. Mate, honestly, I've said it time and time again, Boom, and I think you'll agree with me. And again, I don't even care. Like, if I'm going to be pointed out as like the guy who repeats himself, hell, I will. If it's good news, it's good news. Xbox Game Pass is just one more reason as to why Xbox is a consumer-friendly, platform. Like, Xbox Game Pass, the value for money is next to none. There's literally nothing you can compare it to except maybe Netflix. Like, I often, when I'm flicking through Netflix and I see like loads of Netflix original series, movies, new movies and shows dropping on a daily basis, I think, Jesus Christ, all I'm paying is like £8 a month or whatever. How am I getting all this content? And you are literally, the same exact thing is happening with Game Pass. You pay such a small fee, and you get all these games. It's ridiculous. Like I've said it before again, Boo, to think that they were only going to do 100 games, and now like with these 16 added to XO and these other 3 is, on top of God knows how many they've added in just the last few weeks. Like, it's crazy. They're probably, honestly, they're going to just keep growing this service until there's like literally 1,000 games to choose from. It is scarily good. Honestly, it's freakishly value for money. And of the games that you mentioned, I'm the same as you, Boom. My friends from the States, like Chief, Darth Merkham, a few people who I game with on a regular, they have Strange Brigade and they play the shit out of it, and they said it's brilliant. They really enjoy it.
Great multiplayer game. That's what I forgot to mention. It's a massive multiplayer game, not massive online, but I think you can team up with 3 of your buddies.
Well, it's the from the people who gave you Zombie Army Trilogy,
Yes. Yep.
which is a 4-player horde mode game, really. And but this one apparently is a lot more complex, where you've got to like dodge like traps and so it's like based in like sort of like Indiana Jones in a way. All the mummies
Yes.
and that, but like all the bloody booby traps and dungeons and all that shit. And oh, sorry, UK Dazarus is going, yeah, the Welsh game at £8 is a bacon fucking butty with a copy of word. Aye, fuck, aye, whack, aye. All right, what? My Welsh is coming out now. Aye, what? Anyway, but not strangely again, I'm the same as you, Boom. I couldn't afford at the time. I was saving my money to get Red Dead 2. So that's why I didn't buy a few games, to be fair, Odyssey being another one. So the fact that it's coming to Game Pass is a steal. I'm very excited. Just once again, it's just one more reason to get your hands on Game Pass if you haven't already, because that is a phenomenal service.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And listen, before we end the show, we mentioned Netflix, and I have to mention this because I'm a huge fan of his work. If you like Christmas movies, if you like Jack Burton, aka Kurt Russell, you need to check out the Christmas Chronicles film that released on Thanksgiving. My wife and I have already seen it twice. It is fantastic.
I want to watch that. Is
Okay,
it
so that was my little Netflix pitch. Again, they don't need Little Boom to help them. They're $1 billion company, but I do it anyway because I want everyone to win. Now, this show has been ridiculously fantastic. I hope everyone that was in the chat enjoyed it as much as apparently the Welsh Gamer and I have. We look forward to doing this show each and every week. It is one of the only Xbox-centric podcasts that are as a morning show, and it's one of the best ones out there. I'm sorry to toot my own horn, but I take this with absolute pride that I love doing this show because I'm such an Xbox fan. But I could not do this show without my brother from another mother across the pond, and that, of course, is the Welsh Gamer. Welsh, your videos are fantastic. I know you've taken a bit of a break from the Dragon X podcast, but eventually,
Sorry, I just sneezed.
no, that's quite all right. Eventually, it will return, but you still do videos, especially opinionated videos, and you're very, you're very active on social media, especially on Twitter. Please tell everyone in the chat and who will eventually be listening to this on the replay where to find you.
I'm going to throw this out there, Boom. One, you said that we are one of the best Xbox shows on Thursday mornings in the US. I spit facts, guys. Anyone who knows, like I'm the fact giver. I'm the Welsh facts gamer. Boom couldn't be more wrong. We are the best. This is the best. This is the #1 Xbox show. With on Thursday mornings, it's phenomenal. We come out with the big bangers. We come out with the stories. We come out with the facts. We smash it left, right, boom, boom, boom. So I had to correct you there, Boom. I apologize.
That's quite all right.
But no, thank you once again, Boom. Always a pleasure, mate. I love doing this show with you, as you know. My channel is the Welsh Gamer, 3 words, and my Twitter is @thewelshgamer93. Now, hold up, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say one more thing. With regards to my channel, I have been taking a ridiculously long hiatus for reasons I can't explain. Not because it's anything personal, but because I actually don't know myself. And I just wanted to throw this out there. It might take off, it might not. But I like to think that I'm not only very opinionated, but I like to do my research. I like to make sure that whatever I'm saying is accurate, or at least as accurate as it can be, depending on what the topic is, like if it's rumor or speculation. But I don't do anything lightly. And I'm throwing out there now for all the people watching, as I think you're all very amazing people. You're phenomenal. I thank you very much for turning up and supporting the show. Go one step further. Find me on Twitter, follow me, and even DM me. And I'm asking you kindly just to give me, because I got such a busy schedule, I'd love it to start a new series on my channel, something like community questions, I don't know, where you guys DM me a topic you want me to give my opinion on. And I will do a video on your topic that you've requested that I cover. And I will shout out you, your channel, your Twitter account, the person, and whoever you are that has asked me the question, and I will answer it in a video format. Let's just see if that even works. I wonder if people even bother. But I just thought I'd throw that out there as an idea, because I've done news coverage so long on my channel. I kind of just wanted to try something different. That when I first started my channel, I don't think I ever really did news coverage. It was always opinions, either about Call of Duty and how shit it is, and God knows what else. So, guys, just DM me, feed me your topics, anything you want me to talk about, and I can do it. And it's giving me material. It should be interesting. I prefer doing opinion videos anyway. So, just wanted to throw that out, Boom. Sorry for that extended outro, but you guys are awesome. Much love. Thank you for your support, and be sure to get me on Twitter and forward me a topic if you want. Take it easy. Cheers, guys. That's the Welsh Gamer. Welsh Gamer has spoken.
Yeah, well, that's great, dude. Listen, you know what? The community is what drives us both. You obviously want to hit on topics that they're interested to hear about. So that's a great idea for your channel. I think it's going to work very well. We have a fantastic following. We were up to as much as 126 watching live, that's just bananas. Like I said, I'm still really taken aback by that. I'm very humbled that people enjoy the show, that they enjoy our opinions and the topics that that we put together, which is great. But you know what? That's going to do it for today's show. It is 12:30. I just want to do a quick announcement. Obviously, the Christmas holiday is coming, and Mrs. BoomStick, who I call her Mrs. Claus, has been scheming. We're going to be doing, I say we, she's not going to be on the podcast because she's too shy. She wouldn't be on there. But she is personally setting up for an episode where it's going to be the Christmas episode, where instead of me getting gifts, I'm going to be giving the gifts away. We have a few things on the panel that on the docket that we're in the process of purchasing now that will be given away. I can't say what they are because I want it to be a surprise, but it's something that she actually brought up to me because she, like I said, I could not do the show without her. She is literally the anchor that holds this ship down. And I'll be making an announcement very soon about when before Christmas this show is going to be, but it's going to happen on Breakfast with Boom. All you have to do is tune in, use the specific hashtag I'll have for that day, and if you are picked, your prize will be mailed out. Some of them might be digital, some of them might be physical. We will see. But thanks again for everyone tuning in. We broke records today. I can't thank you enough, Welsh. I couldn't do this without you, and of course the chat was fantastic, and the sheriff, who's also known as UK Dazarus, took care of business as usual. So a big thank you to him. Fantastic show. Had a great time. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of your day. We'll see you next week and next Thursday morning, more specifically, on the next episode of the Xbox Factor podcast. Take care, everyone.
Bye, guys.